Continuing with a little learning this summer, I want to talk this morning about Aleinu. While it's common in most synagogues to end with Adon Olam, and many also add Kiddush or Hatikva, the liturgy actually ends with Aleinu. And if you were listening to the lessons earlier in the summer, you'll know this because Aleinu is followed by a Kaddish. And remember, Kaddish is our bookend, our bookmark to end a service. Every service, whether it's preliminary prayers, Shacharit, Musaf, Torah service, Hallel, whatever it is, we always end with a Kaddish. So Aleinu means it is incumbent upon us. It doesn't belong here. Why would we say that it's incumbent upon us to praise God at the end of all of our prayers? It's actually a transplant from the Musaf Amidah during the high holidays. The sound may be familiar to you, and with respect and apologies to our Chazan, it's Aleinu Lishabeach. And you will hear a much better version of it when you join us for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. That tune makes sense on the high holidays. It makes sense because it is majestic and beautiful, although those of us here in Toronto also may hear the bum, bum, bum of the TTC. And if you're familiar and you think about the high holidays, and you get on the TTC during Elul, you suddenly are preparing and you're going, wait a minute, I know that. However, we've taken that majestic tune a little bit away, and if you think about the way we sing it now, it's actually Inti Winti Spider. So you'll hear that when we end our services today. But why is it in the Musaf Amidah? It's there because there is a line when we bend the knee and we bow down to God, and we're preparing to give our everything to God. And in fact, there is a line missing from the original text, or from our text that was in the original text, Shehem mishtachavim lehevel verek umitpalalim el lo yoshea, that they, whoever they are, prostrate themselves to vanity and nothingness and pray to a God who cannot deliver. This is a line originally about the practice of idolatry, of praying to rocks and to trees, and it's a reminder that items that have no soul also have no power. But we, va'anachnu, korim umishtachavim umodim, that we bend the knee, we bow, we prostrate ourselves and offer thanks before the supreme ruler, the Holy One, blessed be God. Now this line is still present in a lot of the Sephardi and other liturgies, but in our Ashkenazi liturgy, it dropped out. Some because of fear of censors, fear of spies who might be in the community, spying for the non-Jewish community, and in some cases, Christian governments who insisted that this line be removed from our liturgy. But it's not about Christianity, it's not about Islam, it's not even about any other religion. It is specifically about the practice of idolatry. About Christianity in specific, the Talmud says that they have minhag avotehem biyadehem, the practice of their ancestors in their hands, and it says it is not idolatry and it is not polytheism. A little bit of folklore. Folklore actually says that Aleinu was written by Joshua, that it was first done at the Battle of Jericho when the walls fell. It's an interesting idea. The walls falling in Jericho is one of the items that we have that is actually not bolstered by archaeology, while so much of what happens in the Torah is bolstered by archaeology. but more likely, given the language, Aleinu comes from the rabbinic period, and most scholars attribute it to Rav, a 3rd century Babylonian sage. But regardless, we have been reciting this prayer of faith, this prayer of promise that we will praise God, that we will do what we need to do, that we will be righteous and do what we need to inherit, the inheritance that God has promised to us. And so on the high holidays, you'll see Chazan Steve, you'll see me bowing not just at the knees, but completely down to the floor. It is a humble and holy moment. And we do usually have enough space that I encourage anyone who wants to experience that to join us in bowing fully to the floor. It is the only time that we do this. Last week I spoke about how when we approach God in the Amidah, we stand up tall and we look up. And we do that most of the time. But these few days, these are the days that we bow and we embrace our humility. So with that, as we finish this section of the service, I'm going to invite everyone to rise as able. Join us on page 354 for Kaddish before we begin Musaf.